Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that you're here with me. And so let's just get started straight into this video. I am such a creative person, as I stated in my last video. I feel like over the past couple of months, I've been a little bit disconnected from my creativity. And so this video is gonna be a little bit more vulnerable and a little bit more open for me and the ways in which I am gonna attempt to fill my cup up creatively. And I hope that this inspires you all to also go and try something new, try something creative. Even if you think that you're not, a creative person, try it anyways and just come along with me for this journey. So my first intention with this is to try things out of the norm. And today I'm going to be making a really creative meal and I'm going to bring you guys along with me throughout this recipe. So the first thing that I'm going to be making this week is burrito ramen. If you guys ever heard of the street tacos, burrito tacos, basically this is exactly what it sounds like. I'll be making the same recipe just in a ramen form. Okay, so these are the ingredients I'm going to be using. It's quite a lot, but that just means that there's gonna be so much flavor and I'm so excited to see what this tastes like. Oh, I forgot one ingredient though. I am gonna use some mozzarella cheese at the end. I just love a cheesy dish. If you don't like a cheesy dish, skip over it. My boyfriend doesn't like cheese either, so I won't put it on his, or cilantro, which I think is crazy. I think he has like that soap gene or something. Yeah, some of these ingredients are optional. Switch them out if you want to try the recipe. Okay guys, while I am prepping and cooking, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit more about where the idea of this video came from. So I am turning 25 this month, and as a thought daughter, I have been thinking nonstop, especially because it is now my birthday month. To me, it feels like a check mark. It's been having me thinking about everything that I experienced in the first 25 years of my life and what I want to experience in the next 25 years of my life. I want to make sure that the way that I'm navigating my life, I truly am coming from a place of being authentic with myself. For the past couple of days as well too, I really have been putting intentional work into rediscovering my relationship with God. Every morning that I wake up, I have been writing letters, just like pouring my heart out. I've always loved journaling. It's the safest place where I can place my thoughts. I have a therapist, I have family, but sometimes, you just want a place to put something down that doesn't have to be fully acknowledged by the people around you. Maybe you just want it to stay with yourself for some time. I know I definitely experienced that. I've kind of go in and out with journaling, just in the same ways that I kind of go in and out with my creativity. And in moments where I haven't created something in a long time, I feel bleak. In moments where I haven't journaled for a long time, I feel overstimulated. And I think I'm at a place now where I'm embarking on this new chapter of my life, and it's time for me to really start taking that seriously. I have been asking God for more for some time, and I think I'm realizing that in order for my universe, right, to give me more, I have to first start by giving myself more. It's not funny haha anymore. I actually do get affected when I'm not pouring into myself, and it's time for me to really acknowledge that as a truth versus continuously hitting this same wall over and over and over and over again, where I'm not doing what I know that I need to do for me, and then I feel like I'm going crazy. Yeah, that's where the inspiration of this video came from. I want to pour into my cup creatively because it's just something that's extremely important to me and how I express myself. That's just like what my body's been craving. And so that's where I am right now. I think it sounds really different to start this video off by saying I'm gonna pour into myself creatively, like let me do some cooking and stuff. To me, it feeds right into that same desire. That's that. That is that. And so I guess I will come back once the food is done and you guys will see it. So see you later. Okay, so let's have the first bite together. I didn't put lime on it, but I'm definitely gonna go cut up some lime and put it on this. That's so fire. I'm not even gonna lie, that's so fire. Yeah, I'm so happy I did this. This is so good. This is so fire. I cannot wait to eat this. And so I'm gonna log off for the night. I'm gonna go devour this ramen. I'm so happy with how it came out. And if anything, this is just a testament to what I was saying before. So, okay, I will see you guys later. Hi guys, it is day 2 of filling up my cup, and today is going to be a really nice day. I'm gonna go to Domino Park because it is my favorite park in the whole entire world. I'm gonna go chill, hang there, probably do like a little picnic thing, just bask in the sun. I'm gonna bring my drawing stuff. I got these new pastels, my mom gave them to me, and so I'm gonna bring like a little sketchbook, gonna bring my journal, and then just see what happens, see what's going on. But today we're going on a nice little creative day after therapy, which will be perfect.
Sound like they call me Mikael, you heard?
Okay guys, I am finally back home. Thank God. It is so hot out there. I'm so grateful to be back in the AC. Right now, I made my little ramen from our leftovers yesterday, our burrito ramen, and I'm about to tear this thing up. I'm about to eat this down. But my mom is gonna stop over later because she also wants to try it too, and I have like 1 serving left, and so I'm excited for her to taste it. Yesterday, my boyfriend literally jumped out his freaking shoes when he tasted it. He literally came up to me and was like, "Oh my God, thank you for creating a woman so perfect," and he gave me a kiss, like so cute. And so now I'm about to eat this. I'm about to watch Fleabag for the 2nd time because that show is so funny. And now I'm just literally gonna take it kind of slow for the rest of the day, so yeah. Okay, mama, what do you think of the ramen?
Oh, this is so good.
Yay!
You did your thing. You did your thing. It feels like a warm hug on the inside.
Aww.
It really does. So good.
Yay! Guys, I am so excited for today's Feed Into My Creativity Cup. I can't even wait. I literally can't even wait. Okay, so today I'm going to be building a seashell jewelry stand. I have been seeing this everywhere on social media, and so I got the supplies today, as you can see over here, and we're just gonna be building it together. I have no plan at all for how this is supposed to go together. I've been watching like 10 or like 20-second videos, and they're not really in depth with like instructions on how to build a jewelry stand from seashells, I guess. But we are going to be just trying this together and then seeing how it turns out. So let's pray it turns out cute. Okay guys, the first thing we're gonna do is prep our seashells here. I have 4 of them in total that I want to use kind of as like tiers of the jewelry stand. They're super heavy, so I don't really know what's gonna be able to hold it up, but I'm literally gonna DIY this thing to death. So let's get started on the first step here. I kind of want the shells to hold a little bit more depth in this area. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the NYX Butter Blush, and I am just going to begin kind of layering this pigment on and seeing if I can get it to be a little bit more like how I envision. Okay, so while I'm doing this, and this is like the progress that I've had so far, This is like where the tag for where the shell was, and so the remaining glue, it's kind of making the pigment stick here a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can do something about that, but I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I've just been like feeling recently. What's new? I always feel everything. I feel like lately I've been going through this kind of like identity struggle where I know who I was, I know who I want to be, and I'm kind of sitting in between the transition of the two, but my world and my universe is still reflecting my old self, if that makes sense. And so like, as you guys know, I modeled a lot and it was amazing when it was amazing, whatever, we're not going into that whole spiel again. For a long time, my identity was a model. It was a huge part of my social media, every element of my identity, my family, my friends, like it was just who I was. And now that I am reaching out of modeling and just going on my own path in life, it's so hard for me to detach from model Amira. Everybody, even at my job now, they all come up to me and they're like, girl, like you should model, like girl. I promise you, I've literally had people look me in the eye, like my managers at my jobs, and be like, why are you here? Like, why are you with us? You should be somewhere else. And I'm like, girl, like I know that on the inside that this job isn't going to be my whole life, and that yes, I should be somewhere else, but also I am on the journey, like I am on my way there. I think for me, when I would hear things like that, it caused this like internal dissonance within me, because I would often go back and forth in my head about, you know, is this the universe telling me a sign? Am I supposed to really be going back to modeling? You know, like what's the tea basically? I really have to stop and take a second and come back to myself and understand that everybody outside of me who doesn't witness me personally on a day-to-day basis, they only know figments of me. You know, they only know little bits and pieces. They don't know the full circle. They don't know. And so while their observations are somewhat accurate because I did model, I was there, and when they tell this to me, I never tell them that I've modeled. Like, I just personally don't like leading with that information, just because I just get really weary. I get really, you know, cautious when it comes to people, and modeling does have like a kind of connotation to it about, you know, the lifestyle, the glamour, and the people, and it's just not something that is my whole personality. I don't want to be like, oh, Amira, like, she was the model. Like, I want to be like, oh, Amira, like, she's the creative, she's amazing, she's empathetic, without it being attached to this label that immediately pulls focus and attention, but not the kind of focus and attention that I want for my life. I'm gonna move on to the next part, because if I don't, then I will sit here and chat for 10 minutes straight on this. Okay, I'm so excited. These shells are coming out so beautiful. I'm so, they're coming out so great. But yeah, as I was saying before, basically what that has taught me going through this phase of, you know, branching and blooming into my new self is that the universe kind of seems to often test your will and like your attachment and strength to building your new reality. You know, I think those people who came up to me and were just like, you don't belong here, what are you doing? You should model, why are you here? It was a test for me. It was a test about, am I really serious about this next life that I want to go into and this next life that I want to build for myself? Or am I gonna like kind of go back into old patterns just because other people around me see this thing within me that I've already explored, but are seeing it for the first time themselves, you know? So another example, which is kind of funny, is that like when I was in the phase of my life where I was smoking weed every single day, I'm talking about multiple times a day, every single day, because I was going through it, and at the time, it helped. It helped my brain calm down, it helped my body calm down. I could breathe, I could like begin processing what it is that I was going through. After a while of smoking so much, I began developing like a crazy amount of anxiety. And I've seen people talk about this before, like weed kind of tells you when you need to stop smoking, because the experience of being high will be a lot different than what it was before. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to start taking a break. Maybe I need to start slowing down on how much I'm smoking. As soon as I decided that I wanted to stop smoking and take a break, I could not get rid of weed within my like proximity. It would be a friend that would come over that had weed. Right after I was like, this was my last spliff. Somehow, some way, more weed ended up right in front of me. What that showed me was that it had to be an intentional decision for me to give up weed. It wasn't something that was just gonna like be sly, like, oh, I'm just gonna give this up and now, you know, the sun is shining, unicorns are fucking pooping rainbows and everything is, you know, uphill from here. It was like, no, like, okay, if this is what you want to do, that's great, that's fine. Let's test the strength of your decision. Let's make sure that you're as serious as you're saying right now. So we're gonna put all this stuff in your proximity, in your environment, and see what you do with it. So I, of course, had to develop, you know, my own discernment and strength and my ability to not fall into old habits. Like this whole journey that I'm going through with self-identity of, you know, now that I'm deciding to do something different, here it comes in all of these people and sources and things that are like, you should do this, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it's testing again the strength of my decision. Am I really gonna stick with this? Am I really going to follow my heart and follow where my gut is taking me? Or am I gonna fall back into, you know, old habits and old life and old way of thinking, anxiety about everything? Or am I just gonna trust that I'm on my journey because I'm already walking on it, you know? And so I am talking a lot again. I'm sorry, she's a podcast. Like once you get me going, I can't stop. But I'm gonna finish the shells. Let's move on to the next step. Okay guys, so now my seashells are drying. They're so cute. You can see it a little bit on camera how they look, but they look so much better in person. And speaking of high, I think I might have gotten like fucking secondhand high from all of the fumes that are in the nail polish that I use for these. The smell is kind of crazy. So the next thing I'm gonna do while these are drying is I am going to kind of try to build a layout of how I want my Julie Santa look. It's kind of hard because all of these are the same size, so I'm not really sure how to layer them in a way that makes sense, especially because I have 4 of them. So I'm gonna figure out how I want it while these are drying, and I'm gonna come back to you guys. Okay guys, I have some shells here underneath that I'm figuring out how to place to act as the foundation. I think these are oyster shells, they're so cute. I know I'm gonna keep this one in the middle because of its natural, just like concave and like curve right here. It fits nicely into the shell. And so I'm just gonna keep that and then figure out how to place these around it so they look like a functional base. So this is the foundation right here. I'm not gonna pick it up because it's super fragile and it's all being held together with hot glue, and I haven't reinforced it in the ways that I feel safe to pick it up yet. So you can kind of get like an aerial view of what this is turning out to be so far, and it's so cute. I'm gonna go fill these holes that you see right here with this, just like little succulent things. But yeah, I'm so excited so far. So I'm gonna keep building on this and mapping it out. It's gotten so serious that I needed to put my hair up. I am not playing about this. It's going to come out so beautiful. I have a big update for where I am at now. My workstation is a mess. I'm really getting into this process. I don't want to move it because I feel like it's so fragile, so I'm just gonna pick you guys up. I built 2 stories here. I used this to act as like a beam for the second level. These are just some wires that I had around. I used them for my pipe cleaner flowers, which are right over here. So I used them for the stems. And then I just like glued them together and they seem pretty sturdy. Like you see, it's not really moving. Of course, this whole thing is held together with hot glue. So if I like smack the shit out of it, then it'll move. But yeah, so then I took a bunch of these little shells that my boyfriend got me because he's a literal angel from an art supply store that's around us, and I just glued them onto the base just to make it a little bit more cohesive with the rest of the theme here. And this is where I'm at. I am going to build a 3rd level. I was gonna use this beam to kind of like make them equal, but the shells are so big that it doesn't look right. So I am building a new beam to make it higher. The shells will basically have like different tiers. So yeah. Okay guys, so this is my finished product. I am so excited with how it came out. It definitely took forever, but it was worth it in the end. I would definitely do it all over again. Hi guys, it is currently the next day, so big update on my creative project. I've finished it about like 99.9% of the way. I just wanted to show it to you guys. I just got home from work, so I'm so exhausted. I'm so beat. In any case, thank you so much for watching this video. I am so excited that I got to share this part with you because I love being creative, and stay tuned for my next one.